Hey, this is Notser, and we're talking about 0.5.1. So, 3 maps. Fiery Land, which is a brand new map based off of islands off the coast of South America. It's oranges, yellow, it's warm. They don't have a map that's warm in the game, so it'll be fun. It'll be nice to have this kind of map. No idea on layout. It's just nice to have another map in the pool. Next map, Trap. It's for tier 8s up, so extremely high tier map. It's set in the Pacific, it's got a bunch of little islands, and interestingly, it looks like there is smoke in the map. Now, I'll talk about the smoke in a sec, but Northern Lights is the third one. It's just a variation of the North map that we've played. I love the North map. It's one of the most balanced maps, I think. It doesn't feel like the games drag out too much, and I'm excited to have a variation that has a little bit more color. But this map also has smoke in the background. Now, obviously, it could just be from a playtest and a destroyer. Now, I would think it would be odd that they would choose to take a screenshot with an element that didn't exist permanently on the map. What I'm saying is, they don't want to confuse players by having this information in the screenshot, and when they get in the map, it doesn't actually exist. And especially for the trap map, that's a lot of smoke. I rarely see that much smoke out at the same time. So I'm going to go off the premise that smoke is a part of the maps. And this is great for a couple reasons. It provides cover for not only destroyers, but other ships to extend out before they start firing. Destroyers can already do this. They can basically move in before they are spotted and decide when they want to engage. Right now, most ships, basically, once you're away from islands, you're spotted in a lot of situations. And if smoke exists, it's equivalent to a bush. It's a soft cover that you can fire through, but it'll obviously block line of sight. Now, if these exist on this map, I can just see destroyers rush into these and trying to get intel from cruisers and battleships on their team so they can fire, torpedo, create large amounts of havoc. Other ships can obviously do this, but it's going to be easier to spot them as they enter the smoke. If they enter the smoke and someone is aware of their position, then all you got to do is get close to the smoke or use hydroacoustic and take them out. I really, really, really hope this is real. I hope it isn't just, oh, we had destroyers popping smoke, we're sorry. I don't want that. I want it to actually be areas of the map that you don't want to go into, or you're hesitant. They're also going to tweak Islands of Ice, Two Brothers, and Hotspot. They're taking out the crisscross spawn pattern of Hotspot. I think this is for the best. Hotspot's very stagnant in its strategy. There's only 2 strategies. You're either trying to meet up at C, or you're going to try to meet up at A or B. There's nothing going in the middle. There's really very little variation. I could only predict the heat maps, which are basically the coordinates of your position whenever you're moving around. Halo had this, a lot of FPS have this because it helps with map design. I can only imagine their heat map for Hotspot Crisscross is so predictable. It's probably scary how closely we play that map strategically compared to all the other maps. I'm just going to throw that out there. Moving around a couple islands on Big Race. Okay. They're improving the player spawn on straight. Good, because straight feels weird. You feel like you basically spawn in range of the enemy, and you're trying to do your best to not die. Solomon Islands, they are restricting to only tier 3 through 6. Thank you. Map's way too small for like a tier 7. It just feels so wrong. So, that's good. That's good. They're adding a new game mode, Zone Capture. Zone Capture is equivalent to Encounter Battle. Both teams will be fighting over a single capture point, which is immune for the first 2 minutes, but after that, you can theoretically capture it in under a minute, or just at a minute. The number of ships does not increase the speed of capture, but you can sit in the capture and reduce their capture points multiplied by the number of ships, so it's interesting. This sounds like they really want everyone to come together and fight in a brawl manner, and that seems insane, especially with destroyers and walls of torpedoes. So we'll just see. I don't know if this is a good mode for high tier, same with Encounter. Anytime you ball up a lot of ships, you're immediately giving a lot of power to one class in particular, the Destroyer, and their torpedoes. So we'll see. It's going to be on Ocean, Big Race, Trap, and Islands of Ice. So we'll look forward to that. They're buffing the armor thickness for the Baltimore and the Des Moines. Both of these ships really did need this. They kind of feel like they get outclassed by the Japanese and also all the battleships. Literally everything is battleships at high tier because everyone feels like it's not worth it to go on a ship that could die. There's a hell of a lot of players that just sit in the back, hoping they'll never die. So the Atago, yes, that's the correct way to pronounce it. I apologize for all the Atagos. The Atago is getting the heal ability. So that's pretty awesome. That's a lot of value in that ship. I don't know why they're buffing it so much. It's a really good ship. The problem is, at tier 8, you basically have to fight at least 4 to 6 battleships every single game. And battleships, of course, are nearly a hard counter to cruisers. They're increasing the effectiveness of the Fletcher and the Benson's artillery, so these ships are going to get a nice clean buff, not only on the artillery side, but also all U.S. destroyers will receive a range boost for their torpedoes. Don't know how much that is. Don't know if they give up speed on their torpedoes to get this, but that is basically what they needed. I think if they give this to U.S. destroyers, they're going to have to give something to the Japanese, and hopefully it's not torpedo related. Hopefully it's something like, maybe they're just a little bit better at stealth, baseline, maybe they're just a little bit faster. But at tier 6 and 7 they give up a little bit, and if they buff all the U.S. destroyers, which gave up at tier 6 and 7, then the Japanese are going to need something, just something small. I don't think gun related or torpedo related is good. That would be overbuffing in my opinion. They're very close to being right where they need to be. So they released the actual change that they're going to make whenever a ship makes contact with the border. We talked about this for On the Horizon, and they're going to reduce your engine power by 75% when you make contact with the border. That is insane! Going from what we have now to this, the border will be death. I guarantee it. You will be at a crawl if you touch the border. Another item that was talked about for On the Horizon is the divisional position. You don't spawn near each other right now. In 5.1, they're changing it to where divisions will spawn as close as possible, so you'll be able to immediately work together and not have to sail for, 5 minutes in the beginning of the game. So that's going to be fantastic. They're slightly adjusting domination mode. This is the mode where when you get kills, you gain points and you lose points, and these points are large values. Right now an aircraft carrier is worth 90, battleships are 60, and in 0.5.1 they're dropping all those down, and everything's going to be a little bit more fair on the value it is for your team. It'll probably draw out the fight a little bit more. Maybe it's more important that you capture points and not just get kills. So that'll be an interesting change. We'll have to see how much that actually affects the strategy. Ranked plays getting changed. They're going to make it take longer to capture both in the tick rate and the total points you need. It's going up to 1,000, whereas with ranked it's 800 right now, which is less than a normal game. They really want everyone to fight each other aggressively, and I support this. They're adding exterior flags for fun. These don't provide anything, they're just purely cosmetic, and it sounds like they're going to be rewarded through achievements and different things related to season ending. So, that'll be nice. They're going to change the rewards for each rank. You can expect that next season. Sound. They're improving the sound. They're adding more things to convey what's going on, so you're going to have more people telling you what to do. So, along with hearing you are the last hope for your team, you're going to hear 5 minutes until the battle ends. Either team only needs to destroy 2 ships to win. Your team has twice as many points as the enemy team. The enemy team has twice as many ships as you. So, yeah, okay. whatever. They're going to improve the missions. They're going to increase their value to players, so that's nice. Don't know what they're actually going to do, but the mission should reward you more. Economics, specifically for domination mode, they're making it beneficial to capture a little bit more than it is currently, so that's nice. Right now it kind of feels like people don't do that. They just ignore that and try and get kills. And I actually lost the game because I had battleships refuse to play the actual game. They just wanted to sit back and shoot. Yeah. And one last thing that is really exciting. They are improving the ship carousel in 0.5.1. You can filter based on class, tier, nation, premium, elite. You can do all these cool things that we should have had, especially for someone who has so many ships. I have to scroll through so much. Even now, with my limited ship inventory, it's rather annoying. And it's gonna get only worse, especially once I get more credits. So, that's nice. Don't need a mod for that anymore. We get to have it built in. Also, apparently, you'll be able to reduce the carousel so you can have 2 rows of ships. So, you know, that'll be nice. Overall, 0.5.1 sounds like they're on the right track. More maps, balance both the maps and the ships. They're not targeting German cruisers or Soviet destroyers, and that, quite frankly, is because they don't have enough information to nail down exactly what they need. But they definitely need something. After playing them, they definitely need something. So, hope you enjoyed the Isokaze game too. Tomorrow's video is going to be a Soviet destroyer or a German cruiser, and it most likely will be low tier. I'm definitely going to make sure it's entertaining. And I'm definitely going to be top of the food chain on XP earned. I'm going to be getting a lot of kills, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed this, both the discussion and the game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. Stay safe, and good luck with your Soviet destroyers and your German cruisers.